The Effects of the Coronavirus Pandemic, Part 3. The Great Resignation. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought about a wide range of tumultuous events that have impacted our world in its entirety. Here at home, we were not spared either. Amongst the many unforeseen series of events brought about by the pandemic was the Great Resignation. Many autonyms have been used to delineate the Great Resignation, and some of the most common ones have been the Revenge of the Common Worker, the Great Reshuffle, and the Big Quit. These terms have all surfaced in whole or in part in the continuous news cycle as of lately. It seems like for a set period of time, the whole country was focused on that topic. But what is the Great Resignation, and why should I care? Coined by Professor Anthony Klotz of Texas A&M University, the Great Resignation is a phenomenon that describes record numbers of people quitting their jobs in a time span that stretches from the beginning of COVID-19 pandemic to its end. This wave of resignation began its course in early spring 2021 when the American government refused to provide necessary workers protection in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and said wave subsided towards the fall of 2021. The Great Resignation peaked in June 2021 with an estimated 3.9 million unfulfilled full-time jobs across various sectors of the economy nationwide. However, not all parts of the country experienced this phenomenon on the same level. Resignations have been consistently the most prevalent in the southern part of the United States, where an estimated 2.9% of the workforce left their jobs, followed by the Midwest and the West, where an estimated 2.8% and 2.6% of the workforce population left their jobs respectively, followed by the Northeast, which has been the most stable region, with only 2% of workers quitting in June. That reported 2% might have been due to the mass exodus experience in the northeastern part of the U.S. We addressed that issue in a previous episode. Needless to say, those job vacancies left a bruise on the overall health of the economy as a whole. However, the economic impact was felt differently throughout each sector of the economy. Amongst the sectors hit the hardest were retail and food service. The retail industry had the second highest quit rates at 4.7%, only surpassed by food service workers, whose quit rates went as high as 6.8%, a number that is well above the industry average of 4.1%. Iconic stores like GNC, JCPenney, J.Crew, Neiman Marcus, and Pier 1 have all filed for bankruptcy. JCPenney and Neiman Marcus debt grew to more than $5 billion. GNC debt totaled to nearly $1 billion, and J.Crew $1.7 billion. To alleviate the woes of the Great Resignation, many companies are now turning to automation. But not without backlash, to say the least. Though early in the adoption of automation, many businesses are already facing vigorous opposition. Few commenters weighed in on that.
Automation is going to be the downfall of this country, taking thousands of workers' jobs away only to replace them with automation. They see this as such a great thing. However, I see this as a major downfall to America. What do you expect people to do for work when all of their jobs have been replaced by robots? Sounds like something out of an insane sci-fi movie. For every job that technology creates, it destroys a dozen or so in the process.
Some people, however, have embraced the idea. A commenter told us the following, and I quote, "Some jobs will go away, but rather than completely disappearing, many of them will evolve. The nature of work in some fields will change. Yet remember, these kinds of transitions have happened many times throughout history. The shift to automation is similar to the Industrial Revolution." Despite the negatives, many Americans who have quit their jobs have found solace in the fact that they are finally able to pursue their career of choice and/or follow their dreams. The United States of America wasn't the only country to face these circumstances. India, China, and many countries in Europe have faced similar obstacles. India and Europe have had more than 1.5 million resignations combined, while China's number remains on the lower end of the spectrum, with 500,000 resignations. China's numbers are dwarfed by the U.S. because of its large population. It is still unclear how this will all play out in the future, as we have yet to return from pre-pandemic economic performance. In the meantime, one thing remains certain: businesses now have to go the extra mile to find, recruit, and retain talent.